with you today because I was blown away. I saw every one of you listening to your words, stretching them out, and writing down the sounds you heard. That was incredible. Everybody, let's do a firecracker cheer. That was awesome. And I want to ask two of our writers today, remember we're all going to get a chance to share, but we all have to take turns, to come up and share the sounds that they stretched out today. Qualisha and Jasmine, can you come up here? Boys, we're giving our eyes and our what? Ears. To our friends.
And our friends.
Spoons are in a...
Oh.
Thank you for saying excuse me so nicely, Jasmine. Reginald. All right, Jasmine, why don't you go first? What I'm going to ask you to do, honey, is show everybody your piece, and then you're going to read what you wrote, because you stretched out so many good words.
One day I went to the bus stop and
you want to read it? We've seen it. We should have read it this way. It's kind of hard to read upside down.
and had walked my dog to the bus stop, and he tried to run off.
Oh, wow. You know what I love that Jasmine did in her writing? Was you'll notice that she started at the beginning of the story. She started with walking her dog. Well, first she started going to the bus stop, then she walked her dog there. And then she told us about the end of her story. What happened at the end of Jasmine's story? Raven? Her dog was trying to run off. And if you look in the picture, she labeled bus, so we know that's a bus stop. And her dog was trying to run off. Maybe let's give a silent round of applause to Jasmine. I know we can all do that. Oh, let me try silent. Thank you. And Qualisha, can you share with us what you got today? Our eyes and our what?
Ears.
Are on Qualisha. Jessica? Close enough. Showing everybody. Now you want to read it to us?
One day I went to go get a caterpillar to be my pet, to be my friend. I will play with it.
Wonderful. Can you show me the picture again? Because there's a really awesome... where's the caterpillar in here? Now, Qualisha, caterpillar is a really long word. If I thought of that word, I might have gone, oh my gosh, there's no way I can get all the sounds down in that word. Can you tell us how you spelled caterpillar?
I sound it out.
Okay, can you walk us through? So how did you do that?
I use my fingers.
Good. And I know that everybody, all of our writers are doing that in their writing as well. And everybody is going to keep doing that in our writing workshop to make some wonderful stories, Reginald. Let's give Qualisha a silent round of applause. Thank you. Spoons are in a... Qualisha and Jasmine. Jasmine, you're answering that. Qualisha and Jasmine, you can put your forward. All right, boys and girls, it is time for our read aloud because today is Friday, and we don't go to computer on Friday because we get out at 3 o'clock. So it's time for our read aloud. And I'm so excited about our read aloud today because we're reading another one of Miss Bialecki's Tiara favorite books, Slavasia. Oh, I'm sorry. Boys and girls, our lips are what?
Veil.
Thank you, Regan. I need you in the bottom. Boys and girls, we have been talking about our schema. Can you all show me where your schema is? Show me where your schema is. Very good. What is that schema thing after all? It's kind of a funny word. What is our schema? Right here?
All the thoughts inside your head.
All the thoughts inside our head, all of our knowledge, everything we've done, Jessica, everywhere we've been, everything we know. That's our what?
Schema.
Our schema. What do we use our schema to make? What do we use? Actually, you know, could everybody just show me? What do we use our schema to make? Oh, you guys are so smart. We use them to make what, everybody?
Connections.
We use them to make connections from the text to ourselves.
Selves.
Very good. All right, today we're going to be doing something really exciting. So I need all eyes on the
speaker.
Okay, today we'll be reading another book, and it's one of my favorites. And you guys may have heard about it before, but if not, you'll read it today. But while we read this book that I love, we're going to be making
Connections.
and we're going to be recording our connections on sticky notes that I'm going to put on the big chart paper. Because sometimes when I read, and a lot of readers do this, good readers do this, Lucius, while they're reading, they make little notes on these sticky notes, and they put them down to hold their thinking in their head. Because sometimes it gets kind of crowded in there, in your head, and you can't quite remember everything. So if we write it down, if we write our connections down, Jessica, eyes on the
Speaker.
What's your last one? It helps us to remember for later when we're thinking and talking about the book. I kind of think about it like a file cabinet. Okay? You guys ever heard of a file cabinet? I have one right here. And it's where Miss Bialecki puts all her important files. And I kind of think of my head like a file cabinet. It's got a lot of important information in it. It's got my schema in it. I got to open it up sometimes when I'm thinking, all the time when I'm thinking. But if I write things down while I read, I can put them in my file cabinet later. Okay. Here we get the front cover out. We get the back cover out. We're ready to read. Okay, this is called a chapter book. A chapter book. Nicholas, thank you. And it's called Frog and Toad Are Friends. That's the title. Now, a chapter book is different than some of the other books we've been reading because a chapter book has more than one little story in it. And they're called chapters. And we're going to read one of those chapters today. The beginning and the table of contents. They list all the chapters we're going to read. Today we're going to read the chapter called A Lost Button. And remember, while I'm reading, I want to see you making what?
Connections.
And we're going to make connections, and we're going to, when we make those connections, we're going to say them the way that we practice, Lucius. When I heard the part about, it reminded me of. So we're going to say the part that we heard and what it reminded us of, because that's how good readers make their connections. All right. I might call on you if I see you making connections. And connections stay in our laps. I can see you. They don't need to go up in the air. Capiche?
Capiche.
Thank you. And I'll write some of those connections down, and we'll talk about them after on our chart paper that we filed away. Okay. The title of the whole book is called Frog and Toad Are Friends. Reginald, can you go get a chair and sit? Because I'm afraid that you won't be able to understand the story and really, you won't be able to appreciate it if you're distracted. Thank you. Why don't you back up right next to the page? Thank you. All right. Eyes on the
Speaker.
Thank you. Frog and Toad Are Friends. Story and pictures by Arnold Lobel. So Lucius, boys and girls, if he wrote the story, my hand's not up yet, what does that make him? If you write the story, what are you? Melissa?
The author.
What is it, boys and girls? The
author.
Very good. But he also drew the pictures. Because then what does that make him? If he drew the pictures, he's not just the author, but he's also Tiara. Hand that here, Sue. He's also the what? Not just the author, but also the... He writes the story if he's the author. Who's the person that draws the pictures? I'm going to pick another stick. Hands are down. What friend can help us out, Michaela? Can you help us out? Not just the author. The
Illustrator.
The what, boys and girls?
Illustrator.
What does the illustrator do, Tiara? Doesn't write the story. He does what? Do we write pictures? What do we do? Very good. Draws the pictures. Thank you, Janae, for having your eyes on me. Okay. And the chapter we're reading today is called A Lost Button. Toad and Frog went for a long walk. They walked across a large